Whenever I walk into any lodging, whether it's a hotel, Airbnb, doesn't matter, the first thing I do once I drop my bags is look for cameras. I will check in the outlets, the lightings, any clocks, any paintings, anything like that. I'll look around to see if there's any hidden cameras, first of all. And then I will take a note of where the actual security cameras are. When I was in Bali in Ubud, when I was looking around for cameras, I saw that they had this corner of the house that had a camera on the periphery, but then they had a second camera next to it that was pointed through the living room area. So I felt like that was a little bit intrusive. Like, why do you have security camera in the kitchen and the living room area? I thought that was weird. However, in addition to that, because the Airbnb had glass walls, whenever I had the curtains open, the camera would be able to pick up straight through. Now, obviously, I can't see the footage, so I don't know how clear it is. However, the direction of the camera would allow anyone reviewing the footage to be able to see straight through the kitchen, the living room, and into my bedroom. I didn't like that at all. What is around you? Can anyone else see in your room? Can anyone else see in your yard? When I was in the same place in Ubud, they're doing construction around, and when I'm in the yard, I looked up and there were all these construction workers. It was a little scary, but that's why I chose the bedroom that I chose. I didn't want to go back and forth across the yard. Instead, I just ended up walking along the periphery. That was also the reason why I didn't use the pool until late in the evening. I waited until they were done working for the day so they wouldn't be able to see me while I was swimming. Whenever I'm choosing an Airbnb, I always choose one that's been around for a while and they have a ton of reviews. If I'm going alone, I don't feel safe going to somewhere that has maybe 1 or 2 reviews. I like reading a lot of reviews and a lot of feedback, so I know exactly what to expect and I know exactly how to prepare myself. And generally, with a place that has a lot of reviews, I feel more confident staying there and I feel safer. Whenever I order groceries or food, I never answer the door. So in any online app or anything like that, when I give the driver instructions, I always say leave it at the door. The reason I do this is because I've heard stories about people just forcing themselves into other people's apartment when you answer the door, and they just hold these people up with some type of weapon and rob them. I don't want that happening. So I will wait however long it takes for you to be uncomfortable, because if you are in a hotel hallway, like you drop the food off, you're just standing there for a good 15 minutes, that feels like forever. That makes you a hard target because now there's a high chance that somebody might walk past and see them. I always do that, and no, my food doesn't go bad. I don't leave it out there for 2 hours, but I definitely don't answer the door right away. I always let some time pass, and that's it. The only time that I did this was in Bali, and the drop-off point wasn't at my door. I picked up by the main road where there's a bunch of people around and a lot of people could see. So that's the only situation where I would meet the driver in person. When I'm in hotels, I decline the cleaning service. Now, if I'm there for 2 nights or 3 nights, then no. If I'm there longer, I will have them come and I'll do it once, maybe, clean sheets and all of that. But generally my hotel room is clean. Sometimes I'll just get new towels. For me, it's just safer. Quick mental break. How cool is the Blue Lagoon? I went alone. If you haven't been, you should totally go. By the way, if you're getting bored, there are timestamps below. Feel free to click ahead. Also, I leave the do not disturb sign on all the time. I think it's similar to leaving a light on or leaving a TV on. When I'm in an Airbnb that has multiple rooms, I'll have multiple lights on. I don't just keep the light on in the one room that I am using. Okay, let's talk about the illusion of 2. I always try to give the illusion that I'm not by myself. So on my accommodation, I always book for 2 people. I never book for 1. This could be challenging if you're doing all-inclusives because I think they charge based on the number of people. But I'm not the biggest fan of all-inclusives. But other than that, I've never had it affect me price-wise. But I always book for 2 because I just don't want it to be so blatantly obvious that I'm by myself. So if my accommodation booked my hotel transfer, which I don't really like to do, but sometimes it's necessary. So if they're picking me up from the airport, they're expecting 2 people and they know that no one got there yet. So I'll say, oh, my friend's flight got delayed. She's coming in later this evening or something like that. Now, if I'm just in a different ride or a taxi, they love asking, oh, are you here alone? I'm like, no, my friend came yesterday. Or no, I have friends here, I'm meeting them. Or I'll say my flight got delayed and my friend got here 4 hours ago. So one of the things that I started doing recently that I noticed that works really well is this. For some reason, whenever I have this on, no one asks me if I'm by myself, which is quite interesting. I love this thing. Kind of cute, right? But anyway, I realized that when I wore this, no one was asking me if I'm by myself. I think they just sort of assumed. The only thing is I wear it to check into lodging, so that way I sort of give them the illusion of two. But I don't wear it out because, I'm a single woman. What if I run into someone that I really like? Doesn't mean that that's gonna happen. But I also don't want to block my blessings, so if you want to wear it out, that's great. Sometimes when I go out to eat, the waiter will ask me, or waitress will ask me if I'm by myself. I'll just say, no, my friend's not feeling well, so she's back at the hotel, but I wanted to get some coffee, or I wanted to try the food. And it also gives me an excuse to order more food for myself and take it back. No, I'm kidding. Again, you're not going to give too much information, but you just want to give the illusion that you're not by yourself. There are a lot of people that will ask you questions just to sort of get a read on you, or to sort of test whether or not you know about the scams in the area, or whether or not you're aware of what's going on. I've learned that you can't tell strangers all your business, okay? So whenever I check into a hotel, one of the things I do now, I'll say, oh yeah, I'm here for 3 days, but then I'm going to an Airbnb. I'll be here 6 months. Oh, I'm just staying in a hotel until my apartment is ready. I'm moving in a week. I'm moving here now. I got a great job. I can work online. Another really helpful thing is to not let them know that this is your first time. Yeah, I come here for work every summer. Oh yeah, I have a family member close by. Or, oh yes, my parents live here, so I visit them all the time. Or, I love telling. I've been here a few times. The food is amazing. The people is amazing. And then I switch it and ask them a question about them, so that I don't have to keep talking about me. So traveling to somewhere often makes you a harder target, because when you're familiar with the country, there's a high chance that you're also familiar with the type of scams and the type of ways they could rip you off. And there's a chance that you are more on guard than someone who is just visiting for the first time. Moving somewhere makes you a harder target than someone who's visiting, because the tourists leave, and if you're living there, there's a high chance that you will report something, chase them down, look them up. So I've learned that you can't be honest all the time. You can't just tell people, oh, I'm here for 1 day, or oh, I'm leaving tomorrow, because you don't know the person you're speaking to and you don't know their intentions. And that could be from a trusted hotel. The hotel might be great, but you don't know the receptionist, you don't know the taxi driver, you don't know all these people. If you find that you're getting uncomfortable questions, or questions you don't want to answer, you can also redirect the conversation back to them. Just start asking them questions about them. Or what I've done also, I've just been like, oh, give me one moment, and then I just get on my phone, as if I'm like reading a message or reading an email or something like that, like something super important that I can't wait. Because it's hard sometimes to find the balance of being polite and communicating, but not having someone be too intrusive in our lives. The interesting thing is, when I started telling people that I've been there a few times, or that I'm a regular, they start to get less and less inquisitive. It's like they're not interested in my story anymore. So it actually does work. You're a target. I have seen quite a number of content and also blogs that I read that talk about try to blend in, try not to be a target. But the truth is, the minute you open your mouth and you have a different accent, or you don't sound the same, or you don't speak the language, you're a target. The minute you take a taxi from the airport to a hotel, target. The minute you're walking around with a luggage or a big suitcase, target. And it's not just about what you're wearing. Also, the uncertainty in your steps could make you a target. And wearing that beautiful New York Yankee baseball cap that you and I both love, target. So what I do, I don't focus on whether or not I'm a target, because I think I'm a target no matter what. Instead, I focus on whether I'm an easy target or a hard target. Now, this is just my theory. I don't know. I don't have any proof about this, but I think the majority of people that are gonna try to scam you or take advantage of you, they don't want you to know, right? They want to just be secretive, or be quick, sleight of hand, or be in and out, and not be caught. So I think if you make it hard for them, I think if they are gonna get caught, I think if it's not easy for them to take your stuff, they'll most likely move on. The truth is, it is a little scary sometimes to travel alone, but at the same time, I hate not living. So just because you may not have a lot of friends in your life right now, that definitely doesn't mean that you shouldn't get out into the world. There is a way we can still experience new people, experience new culture, new food, and new places, and we can do all this while staying safe and having fun.